Welcome back, baseball fans, to the World Series 1969 and 1972. We have got Game 4 today in Detroit. Tigers trying to even this thing up. Mets won the first game on a walk-off. Game 2, the Tigers rout the Mets at Shea. But John Matlack outlasts Denny McLain in Game 3, and the Mets retake the lead. It's a back-and-forth series, and Detroit's looking for the fourth, and not the back. And today's starting pitchers, of course, for the New York Mets, Jerry Koosman. He pitched brilliantly on opening day, would have gotten a loss. It turned into a no decision, but he got out-pitched by his opponent today, Joe Coleman, who was pulled in the 9th inning with a lead so that they could bring in John Hiller to close it out, and the Tiger defense let him down. That's what happened in Game 1, and the Tigers hoping for better luck this time. We've had 2 road wins by each team, a home win by the Mets, and now we're looking for a home win by the Tigers to get the perfect scenario for the series. So leading off for the Mets is Joe Foy. 38 is a base hit for the ace stealer. Freehand is still doing the catching. Not going to steal. Wayne Garrett, 312. That's a base hit. Interesting. Gramble to third, B+, plus injury. So he gets the single because you're holding a runner on. But Garrett limps to first base, and he's got to come out of the game. So you just lost your second baseman. So it means that Bobby Heiss will run and finish the game at second base, and Foy will finish the game at third base. He runners in the corners for Cleon Jones. 1-2 is a low max, and we'll go. It's a low second max, so we'll do the second first double play. Runner stays at third with 2 outs, and it's Ken Singleton. Tough break for the Mets there. 2-8 is a K, so the low max on Cleon Jones, odd inning, injured a player, get a low max, and the Mets get nothing out of that. Dick McAuliffe, 69, skies the center. Jim Northrup, 45, flies to left. Al Kaline, 62, skies the center field. Top of 2, it's Tommy Agee, 57, is a K. Ed Kranepool, 2-9, rolls first. And Clendenon, 67, is a K. Bottom of 2, Bill Freehand, 69, skies the center field. Mickey Stanley, 48, is a K. Willie Horton, 2-5 is a walk, and with 2 outs, it's Norm Cash, 1-8 is a grounder to short. Now, we advertised the Tigers as being really good against lefties, and also that their left-handed hitters are good against lefties, McAuliffe and Northrup and Cash. And that would be a disadvantage when you consider that Jerry Koosman and Matlack would be pitching in 4 of the games. But Matlack and Koosman have both pitched pretty well in the series thus far. We go to the top of the third, and it's Bud Harrelson. 1-6 rolls to first. Jerry Grody, 5-10, is catcher's card. This is Freehand at 2-2. And with 2 outs, it's Joe Foy. 58's a K. Joe Coleman again doing the job. He got helped out with that low max in the first, but he's having a fantastic year. He's got the horseshoe put in the right direction, you could say. So Elliot Maddox leads off in the bottom of the third. It's a bouncer to short. That is a black hole named Bud Harrelson, 2017. Dick Trzeski, 63, first X. This is Kranepool's a 3-3 at first, and he makes the play. And Dick McAuliffe, 64, short X, and again, it is Mr. Bud, and he makes the play. And one of the things the Mets wanted to do in the offseason, if you're going to have Seaver, Koosman, Matlack, and that bullpen, you might as well secure the best defense money can buy. And though it's not the best, they've got strength everywhere except for right field, where Singleton is a 4, and then they have a 3 come in for defensive replacement. But Bud Harrelson has saved the hide of many Mets pitchers this year. All right, here's Bobby Heiss in for the injured Garrett. 66 is a base hit to left field. Leon Jones up in a big series up until that Lomax. 44 short X. The star-crossed Dick Tracewski pulled out of retirement. And he gets a double play. Pulled out of retirement because the Tigers had no shortstops on the roster. And Tracewski was called into action with his 139 batting average and 79 at-bats to play shortstop for the Tigers this year. Got him in the World Series, though. Ken Singleton. 1-5, Ken Singleton. Let's take a look at his card. We talked about what a year of overachievement Singleton has done for the Mets. And he has put them on a board here in game number 4 with a solo homer on 1-5 in the top of the 4th inning. Tommy A.G., 45, flies to right. All right, bottom of the 4th. Jim Northrup, 56, is a base hit. Al Kaline, 39 is a walk. 2 on for Bill Freehand. 1-8 for Freehand. Oh, let's take a look at the Freehand card. What a hit. 1-8 triple, 1-17 double. How many triples did he have? He had 3. They must have been all against left-handers. Probably, yeah. 1-8 is triple, 1-17, and he cleans those bases off and dusts his pants off at third base. A Bill Freehand triple on his own card, and it's 2-1 Tigers. Mickey Stanley, 1-6 is a K. With 1 out, they're going to bring it up for Willie Horton. 1-5 is a walk. Runners on the corners, up and hold for Cash. 1-5 is center B question mark. Freehand's fast enough to leg out a triple. He's a 12 runner, 13-14, but he won't challenge the -3 arm in center field. Both our center fielders can throw. -2 for Mickey Stanley. You got a 1-2 E5 in Mickey Stanley and a 1-3 E6 in Tommy A.G. So you got runners on the corners with 2 outs. The infield goes back for Elliot Maddox. 54 off the Jerry Koosman card with 2 outs. Well, we saw this in the his opening game start. 54 is homer 1-9 double. He doesn't have power, so it's a single dot, so only 1 run scores. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Tracewski. 56 again off the Koosman card. Single dot. So it appears that only John Matlack has the magic number in the Mets rotation. Seaver and Koosman have been kind of ordinary here in the World Series. The Tigers bat around, have scored 4 times. They have the runners on the corners with 2 outs for Dick McAuliffe. 48 is a bouncer the second. This is Bobby Heiss, a 2E34, and he makes the play. Innings over, but the Tigers take a 4-1 lead. Top of the 5th. It's easy Ed Kranepool. Homered last game. And that's been like his only hit of the series, I think. 32, pops the second. Clendenon, 3-6. Let's take a look at Don Clendenon's card. What a great advantage it is for the Mets. We have a universal DH in all of baseball, so they get to put both of their first basemen, Ed Kranepool and Don Clendenon, in the lineup at the same time. That really boosts this offense. That is much better than the actual 1969 Mets offense was. 3-6 is a solo homer, and it's 4-2. Bud Harrelson, 2-6 pops the second. Jerry Grody, 6'10", second X. Call us a 2E22 at second base, and he makes the play. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, the bottom of the 5th. Tiger Stadium. Tigers are up 4-2. Northrop will lead off this inning again. 68 pops to third. Al Kaline, 53, rolls to the pitcher. Bill Freehand with a big triple earlier. My goodness, folks. The same roll. You know, that's 30% against left-handed pitcher. And the roll of 1-8 is triple 1-17. That's a lot of triple potential for Mr. Freehand. As soon as I say it, he misses the triple 1-17 by rolling an 18 and getting the double. Interesting. With 2 outs, it's Mickey Stanley. Koosman has had problems getting the final out. He's allowed a lot of 2-out hits in his 2 starts. Here's Mickey Stanley. 58, this time it's a bouncer the second. Heiss is a 2E34, and he makes the play. So, that time, Koosman prevailed. We go to the 6th. Joe Foy and the Mets, 6-11. Left X, and this is going to be Northrop, a 2-6 in left field. He makes the catch. Bobby Heiss, 3-6, is a grounder to short. Cleon Jones, 1-7, he's on again. Double 1-9 is a base hit off his card. And it's Ken Singleton, the tie run. He homered in the 4th. Clendenon homered in the 5th. This is a different Mets team with power hitters in their lineup. In the middle 5 guys, from Jones down to Clendenon, all capable of 20-plus taters. Here's the pitch to Kenny Singleton. 48 off of Coleman is a K. Bottom of the 6th, 4-2 game. Willie Horton, here's a who. 68 flies to left. Norm Cash, 45 flies to left. And Elliot Maddox, 35 is a sky to center field. Koosman again, 1 bad inning. That's how game 1 of the World Series was. 1 bad inning, and he gave up 5 runs total. Here, 1 bad inning, 4 runs total. Top of the 7th, Joe Coleman sailing along, a couple solo shots. And you have to think that if he has the lead in the 9th, they're going to stick with him versus what happened in game 1. So here's Tommy A.G. 69, rolls to second. Ed Cranepool, 68, skies to right, and with 2 outs. Don Clendenon, 39, is a K. Stretch time here in Tiger Stadium. We've been enjoying the Stevie Wonder Music of My Mind LP. Happier Than the Morning Sun and Seems So Long. Great LP. The first of the 4 masterpieces in a row. Let's get going now to the bottom of the 7th. Koosman's not going anywhere. If you like relief pitchers, folks, this is not the series for you. Sure, the Mets will trot out some in the last couple innings, but both teams love their starting pitchers. And so Koosman will continue into the 7th. Dick Trzeski, 6'10", third X. This is Foy, a 4'18" at third base. He makes the play. Dick McAuliffe, 48, second X. This is Heiss, 2E34. A cheap single off Bobby Heiss. The Tigers have no speed. You don't have to worry about holding any of these guys on. We're talking D, 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 E, E, D, E, D. Oh, wait a minute. Dick Trzeski's a C stealer, in case you're wondering. Anyway, Jim Northrop with a runner at first and 1 out. 48, second X again. And that is a 4-6-3 double play turned by Bobby Heiss as a 2E34 at second. So actually, having Heiss come in for Garrett has helped the defense of the Mets, and we have a 4-2 game with 2 frames left. And Joe Coleman, you're going to need something remarkable to get Mr. Coleman off the mound here. Bud Harrelson in the 8th. There's no defense really to bring in for the Tigers. Bud Harrelson, 39, is a walk. Jerry Grody is a tie run. He has power. Harrelson's not going to steal. The pitch to Jerry Grody, 1-6 is single 1-12, and he gets the single. And just like that, the New York Mets will send the lead run to the plate in the presence of Mr. Foy, Joe Foy. First and second, nobody out. Coleman's a starter 9, can't break in this inning. The pitch to Joe Foy. 47 off of Coleman is a K. Now you got Bobby Heiss. He doesn't have power, but he hit 1 homer and 154 at-bats, and it's on his own card on the roll of 1-5. So with 2 on and 1 out, Bob Heiss. 48 off of Coleman is a walk. He walks, and the bases are loaded, and he's going to get a visit from the mound, but you kind of figure that they're not going to take him out. It's Cleon Jones. Hits into a reasonable amount of double plays. The bases are loaded with 1 out. They have a 2-run lead. They're going to play the infield back, hoping for 2. Cleon Jones, what a strange game. He lined into a double play, and he hit into 1 in the 4th, along with a single. This could be a nightmare or a championship moment here for Cleon Jones. Here's the pitch. Bases loaded, 1 out to Cleon. 65 off of Coleman is short X. Oh boy. This is Trzaskowski, a 2E36 at short. 2E34, you got to plug in his proper E rating, which is 36. And then look right here for result. And it's still an error! Dick Trzaskowski, the quote-unquote defensive shortstop that the Tigers have been lacking, boots the ball in the top of the 8th. We got a one-run game. And now it's getting scary for the Tigers. They are in danger of going down 3-1 in this series. You got the bases loaded, still with one out. Singleton has a lot of strikeouts on this card, so you might want to just bring the infield up. Probably wouldn't hit no double play. They're going to bring the infield up for Singleton. The home team, you can turn a 6-2-3 double play anyway. They're going to bring the infield up with Singleton, trying to protect the one-run lead. He has a solo homer earlier and a couple strikeouts. The pitch to Ken Singleton. 65. Now that's second C with the infield up is a force out at the plate. So they get the runner out of the plate. Same dice roll, but Cleon Jones is a right-handed batter. Singleton's a left-handed batter. You have short X against righties and second C against lefties. So they get the out at the plate. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs, and it's Tommy A.G., and they're sticking with Coleman, of course. Tommy A.G. was the Game 1 hero with a walk-off triple that cleared the fully loaded bases. So here we go. The pitch to Tommy A.G. 1-12 is a strikeout plus an injury to add on to that. Well, we are in the end of the game, so the injury is not going to be a big deal. They will put their last... They've lost 2 guys to injury today. Frank Johnson could play center field. He's a 4'7". He'll have to play center field for the last inning or 2, perhaps. So the Tigers get out of that with just giving up 1 run. And Kuzman will continue into the bottom of the 8th against Al Kaline. 34 rolls to third. Bill Freehan. 34, skies the center. And with 2 outs, Mickey Stanley. 48 is a strikeout. And Jerry Kuzman is scratching his head going, what just happened today? I threw a 3-hitter if you take away the 4th inning. Actually, if you take away the 4th inning, he threw a 2-hit shutout through 8 innings. And then the 4th inning just came apart. But it's just a 1-run game in the 9th. And though John Hiller and Tom Timmerman are both warming, you got Cranepool, Clendenon, Harrelson. Now, what's interesting, what is really interesting here is that because of the Met injuries, they only have 1 guy on the bench, and that's Pat Corrales. So you could go a lefty. You could bring in Hiller to face Cranepool here to get him out of the game because he doesn't have any hits on his card. And then bring in a righty Timmerman to finish up against Clendenon, Harrelson, Grody, and Joe Foy. But then again, Joe Coleman has been Joe Coleman. In the spirit of the Tigers, you're just going to have to beat Joe Coleman. He has been he's the reason why we're even playing the Tigers in the World Series. So you have to beat Joe Coleman in the 9th by scoring a run or 2 and getting 3 base runners on. And they're going to save their bullpen. Coleman can pitch 10 innings, so that's how the Tigers are going to play this thing. So they will pitch to the dangerous Ed Cranepool. 1-5 ties the game. Here's the pitch to Ed Cranepool. 2-8 is a roller to third. Don Clendenon. Homered earlier on a roll of 3-6. 2-4 is a roller to short. And the Tiger Stadium faithful are on their feet. And the lights are going out in the Tiger bullpen. They understand that Mr. Coleman got robbed in Game 1. He's got Bud Harrelson, who didn't hit a homer. Jerry Grody, who hit 6. And then you have Bobby Heiss, who had 1. So Mets need a miracle at this point. Bud Harrelson. The pitch to Buddy. 56 is a base hit off Coleman. What do you do if you're the Mets here? Do you try the stolen base to get a guy in scoring position to tie? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to let Grody hit away. Hopefully the plus will help. So Harrelson will stay at first base, but he's being held on because he's a tie run. They don't want him in scoring position. So the pitch to Jerry Grody. 210! Jerry Grody, let's take a look at the card. 210, homer, 1 to 11. It is gone! He rolls a 5 with 2 outs in the 9th inning. And the Mets take a 5-4 lead. Jerry Grody had 6 homers in 1969, none bigger than this. A 2-run homer with Coleman just stunned on the mound. By the way, Coleman, he has homer 1, double, and 5-4 against righties. He doesn't give up the long ball. Only 17 homers in 286 innings. Grody has power, didn't need it. Rolled it off of his own card. What are you going to do if you're the Tigers? You did everything perfectly, and the Mets take a 5-4 lead in the 9th. Just like in Game 1. And you got Joe Foy. You have to break him to get him out of there. Again, if you, in some interesting logic, if the Tigers actually were to, say, tie this thing in the bottom of the 9th, Coleman might go back out for a 10th inning if there is one. So he will pitch to Joe Foy here. With the bases empty and 2 outs. 5-10 is catcher's card. This is freehand, a 2-2, and the inning's over. But a hush over Tiger Stadium. They are down a run in the 9th. And Jerry Koosman is running back out to the mound. Confident. He's got Horton, Cash, and then Maddox Trzeski. Horton hits more homers against righties. Cash hits more homers against righties. And Maddox Trzeski, even though Acosta, Frizella, and McCraw are ready, they're going to just let Koosman try and finish in the same way Tigers tried to let Coleman finish. Jerry Koosman trying to will the Mets to a 3-1 lead in this series. Leading off in the bottom of the 9th. The only guy on the bench they have is Corrales. They don't need him anywhere. So here we go. Willie Horton leading off in the bottom of the 9th. 66 off of Koosman is single, 1-11 line out. He gets the single. Horton, he's a decent base runner. He's a 12 base runner. But now it gets challenging for the Tigers. Cash is not nearly as good against lefties as righties. Then you got Maddox Trzeski. Let's take a look at the Norm Cash card. Could walk this thing off on 3-6. There are no right-handed batters on the bench. Gates, Brown, Collins, and Roseboro. Another reason why you don't want to bring a right-handed reliever in, because that invites Gates, Brown to the party, and that's something you don't want to do. You're going to have to beat Jerry Koosman. Not to mention the Mets are playing with house money at this point, because they're already up 2-1 in the series. So Norm Cash, the winning run, the tie run at first. Here's the pitch to Norm Cash. 45 off Koosman is a fly ball to left to Cleon Jones. He gobbles that one up, and there's 1 out. And now, here are the problem kids. Maddox and Trzeski. Maddox hit 248 in 1970. Trzeski hit 139 in 69. Let's start with Mr. Maddox. Elliot Maddox singled and had an RBI in the 4th inning off of Koosman. The pitch to Elliot Maddox. 35 is a sky to center field, and oh my goodness, folks, you cannot have a more helpless feeling now. So on the bench, you have Gates, Brown. We're going to go through all the cards because this is so important. Let's look at Gates Brown's card against lefties. Yeah, nothing there. Let's look at now Kevin Collins' card against lefties. There's nothing there. Let's look at John Roseboro. There's not much there, but you have basically a almost half a column of hits. So let's look at Dick Trzeski's card. He actually is the best option in this situation. And it's up to Dick Trzeski to get on base so that McAuliffe can swing, and to potentially tie the game if he gets that double to left field on 3-6. So, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, it is Dick Trzeski. Here is the pitch. 2-6. Trzeski is single, 1-12 on his own card, and he gets it. The 139 inning Trzeski continues the game. 2 on and 2 outs. And it's Dick McAuliffe. Now we got a lefty who can hit lefties. And when we're looking at the home run here, he's definitely better against righties. And Koosman is still not broken. He's a starter 9. If McAuliffe gets on with a hit or walk and they don't tie it, that would break Koosman with Northrup up. And now the Mets have a problem. They'd have to go Danny Frisella, as McGraw is not good against lefties. So that's the action. Let's look at the Dick McAuliffe card here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 on and 2 outs. The pitch to Dick McAuliffe. 1-2 is a ground ball to short, and the game is over, and the Mets have won the 3rd game of the series. They're up 3-1. Koosman outlasts Coleman because Jerry Grody hits a 2-out, 2-run homer in the 9th inning. What a game 4. And the Mets are up 3-1 in the series. But don't go away, folks. The Tigers are a fighting, roaring team. Do not expect them to just disappear in this thing. What an incredible game. 5-4 Mets. They've beat Joe Coleman. Joe Coleman could be 2-0 in this series. Instead, he's 0-1 with a no decision. The Tigers probably should be up 3-1 in this series, with an outside chance of sweeping the Mets. But the Mets have just been tearing it up ever since they got towards the All-Star break. They turned it up a notch, and they've won every series since. And they look like the Miracle Mets with a more potent offense. Jerry Koosman gets the win. 8 hits. That 4-run 4th inning. Half of the hits were in that inning. A 2-hitter in 7 other innings until he gives up 2 more singles in the 9th. And that's the benefit, folks, of having starter 9 pitchers. You just leave them in there, particularly in postseason masterpieces like this. The postseason, the playoffs, the World Series, it is made for starting pitchers. Just to go out there and put their blood, sweat, and tears on the line. Dueling complete games. 1009, 0109, 5948, 5948, 2833. Tigers, the Mets put 11 men on. The Tigers put 11 men on. It's tough that it's 3-1. It feels like it should be 2-2 the way that these games are going. The Tigers have the blowout, and the Mets have 3 close wins. That's the Mets' strategy, to win the close ones and give up a blowout game. So that's it today. In game number 4, game 4 is done. And in game 5, it'll be the battle of number 4 starters, which could be very intriguing. The Mets will send Don Cardwell to the hill in a potential clinching game, though if he loses, they could return to Shea Stadium, and it would be Tom Seaver in 6 or Jerry Koosman in 7. For the Tigers, their number 4 starter is Les Kane, and their season rides on his arm. And then Mickey Lolich and Joe Coleman again in game 6 and 7 if necessary. That's it today from the World Series. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you tomorrow.